Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to the All-American Savage Show podcast. So here's the deal. The music that you just heard probably was not of the highest quality. And the reason for that is Josh, my producer, is out of work today. He is at home doing some errands and things such as that. So it's kind of me on my own here doing my own thing. So realistically, I just kind of need him for the music and stuff like that. But I do miss Josh. So Josh, if you're listening in today, I miss you, buddy. I love you. But anyway, is there buzzing right now? Do y'all hear buzzing in the audio? Check, check. I'm just making sure the audio is good. Just want to make sure. I kind of hear a buzzing in my own headset. Do y'all hear that? No buzz? Okay, everything is good? All right, apologies for that. Oh, there is a buzz. Okay, hold on. Let me try something. All right. Hopefully that fixed it. Is there still a buzzing? We're all buzzing together. Is the buzzing still there? It's still there? God dog it. I apologize, guys. I'm not sure what the reasoning behind this is or for it. It's not bad? Okay. Well, look, it's livable. All right, so we need to push ahead with this. I apologize for this. It's when I speak. Let me see something. 1 second. All right, how about now? Is it still there? All right, either way, we're going to move on from this, guys. I apologize for this. I need to learn how to work these programs better. But either way, we're going to get on to it. So welcome back to the All-American Savage Show podcast. Thank you for being here today. Appreciate you tuning in. As per usual, we have this show episode is brought to you by shellshockcbd.com. If you tuned in last night, we had a lot of viewers last night for the State of the Union that Joe Biden did. And if you watch with us, I want to say thank you for being there. Thank you for sharing that experience. And I had a lot of people in the chat room asking me, it's like, why are you watching this? Why are you covering this? Look, in order to know what's actually going on, we need to listen. We need to listen to what they have to say. It does not mean that we have to agree with it. In fact, we can openly disagree with it, but we at least need to listen. Because I feel like if we shut down listening altogether, then there is no possibility that we could find any kind of common ground on certain very important critical issues. So I am willing to listen to things that I potentially are probably going to disagree with, but I think that's what we really need more than anything. Otherwise, we're no better than the left that will sit there and refuse to listen. And there's people on the right that do it too, so I can't demonize just one side for that. But all right, we're not going to do a This Day in History, but I do want to go over essentially thoughts over the State of the Union. And I don't really have the transcript in front of me. You can watch yesterday's video on it. It's on Twitch. It's on YouTube. It's there. You can give it a listen. But what we saw in that State of the Union was a very light State of the Union. Biden didn't really go heavy into a lot of different things. He skimmed a lot of topics. He didn't really focus too much on inflation that has continued to rise under his administration, under his presidency. He kind of skimmed over it, and he kind of like threw us a bone by saying, OPEC's going to release 60 million barrels of oil, yada, yada, yada. Hey, come on, guys. I'm doing something, man. It's right there. We can do it, guys. Come on. It was just mind-blowing to me. And I called it before the stream, before the show, that Biden is going to posture himself as if he is the hero of this great nation. And he's not. A lot of these issues are results of not just his administration, but previous administrations. And once again, showing that it seems like the federal government is at the heart of a lot of problems that not only our country faces, but much less the world. Now, we listened to him talk last night. He talked about Ukraine, naturally, and it felt like the overwhelming majority of the speech was about Ukraine. So in my mind, it's like, is this the state of Ukraine or is this the State of the Union? And it's not that I don't care about Ukraine. It's not that it shouldn't be talked about and discussed. But when you're talking about the State of the Union, Americans want to know what you're doing for us right now. Ukraine is a wonderful, wonderful distraction for the Biden administration as far as keeping the civilian populace in check or keeping them busy. You remember Rome. Caesar talked about if you want to keep the people happy, give them food and give them games, keep them entertained. Ladies and gentlemen, the news is quality entertainment these days. The news has replaced reality TV to an extent. Like politics has taken the main focal point in a lot of arenas out there. So if Ukraine's going on, And the way Biden phrased it, like, hey, man, I spent countless hours rallying NATO to come together. No, Mr. President, you weren't. You weren't. I didn't even see you. What are you talking about with this? Our allies are coming together to impose sanctions. But Biden paints himself as if he is sitting there slaving away behind a desk. And I disagree with that. I disagree with that from a standpoint of the president is so older. He's so old. He's so much more older than I think. Well, I mean, he's just an old guy. And what I'm trying to say is I don't think this guy physically can do this, can do what he's claiming to do. I really did. And I'm not saying that because I don't like him. I just don't think he can. He's getting up there in age. But either way, Biden made it appear as if he is the one leading all of this. Because again, if he's also promising not to get Americans involved in Ukraine, which I agree with. I agree with how Biden is handling this. I know a lot of people aren't going to like me for saying that. But as long as he keeps U.S. forces out of this, fair enough. Sanctions, I can agree with. I understand that. But as far as committing U.S. troops and assets such as that, no, I disagree with. This is not our fight. This is simply not our fight. But when you have the president up there trying to make it seem as if he is doing something, when in reality he's really not, you're just imposing sanctions, trying to freaking economically strangle Russia, as well as the rest of the world, even Switzerland, like you talked about last night and on the show. I'm failing to understand just what it is that you've done that you're patting yourself on the back for. You're literally doing what every other country in this world is doing. So what's your point here? You're not spearheading anything. You're not doing anything new and miraculous. You're just doing what everybody else is doing. But again, the Biden administration in year one is in flames. Midterms are coming up. Biden knows this. Biden knows this. So he's going to have to do everything he can when he has the platform of the State of the Union to make Americans feel as if he's doing a good job. He talked about unemployment. He talked about, 6 million jobs that he had created. New jobs. Hey, man, I created new jobs. Look, dude, look. And this isn't just on Biden. I'm not blaming just Biden for this, but you cannot sit there. You cannot sit there and basically say, hey, these jobs that I took away from you, I am now giving back. Therefore, I am creating jobs. It doesn't work that way. It's never worked that way. I don't understand essentially how you can pass that through your thick skull. But again, this is just more manipulation at the hands of the media and the press to sit here and try and bamboozle the American people who they honestly think, ladies and gentlemen, they think we're stupid. And I think sadly enough, many people are. I'm not going to lie about that. There are a lot of us stupid Americans out there, and they vote on all sides of the aisle. We've all seen them. You've seen them on Twitter. You've seen them on Instagram. There are a lot of dumb motherfuckers out there. Let's not even kid ourselves out there. And these people fall for this. I guarantee you, there is a fat, bobbed-haired, pixie, septum ring-having lesbian out there on the left who talks about Black Lives Matter and says, if we want to stop racism, stop having white babies. I guarantee there is one of those out there that is tweeting out these numbers like, Biden created 6 million new jobs. Take that, Republicans. What did Trump do? And these people buy this because they want this. This is identity politics. When Biden scores a win, they score a win. And this is why I warn people, do not tie yourself into an identity when it comes to politics. Tie yourself to the Constitution. Tie yourself to the truth. And therefore, you'll never have to defend any politician when they do wrong. And that's how it should be. If we treated every single politician the same just like that, we'd have a much more productive society, much less political climate, if you will. But instead, we have a lot of just blind support on both sides. Now, I saw that Tulsi Gabbard spoke at CPAC. Tulsi, I texted her this morning, told her I was really happy to see what she's doing, yada, yada, yada. And it's good to see stuff like this because you see progressives, you see moderate Democrats starting to come over the aisle because they see how far off the rails the DNC has become. Like we've talked about this before. The SJW, the fringe left, is leading that dog sled of DNC off a cliff. You've got the squad right now. And this is kind of a good thing if you really think about it. We're going to get to this article. You notice the squad has been very critical of the moderate Democrat movement versus their progressive, extreme progressive movements. They're being phased out. They're being pushed out. The moderates still have a majority. And these new age socialist loving idiots like Rashida Tlaib, Ilhan Omar, AOC, they're the fringe. They're the extremists, not in the violent sense, but in a sense of just how they view things. They don't have a firm grasp on economics, on how the world works. Instead, they live in this echo chamber, this safety bubble, where fair is an actual word that can be used instead of a four-letter word that doesn't apply to real life. That's how these people are. And it looks to me as if the DNC is starting to try and phase them out because they understand it's costing them votes. They realize this, and all they're going to do is the progressives are going to double down and turn more Democrats against the moderates. And I love seeing it. So while Democrats are accusing the GOP of a lot of infighting, which it does have, and it's needed, they have it on their own. Because again, they are freaking, their party is on fire right now. And I don't think people realize this. This State of a Union paled in comparison to other states of the unions from other previous former presidents. Biden did not really go hard on anything, and all he continued to do was try and say, hey man, we need more federal government involvement in the free market because you guys aren't doing a good job. Case in point, I covered this last night on the Twitch stream at the John Burke. You can go watch the video. And I'm not going to lie, I was on Delta 8. I was kind of high, but I feel like when I'm high, I'm able to articulate my points a lot better. I don't know the explanation for that, but it feels like the gates of my mind are open and I can actually say what it is that's actually just bubbling up inside. But all Biden continued trying to do was make these comparisons as far as how and he didn't say this directly, but he was leading this, how the free market has failed. But he's not articulating why it's failed. I hope that makes sense. We don't have capitalism in America, ladies and gentlemen. We have corporatism at the hands of the federal government that are favoring capitalists. That's not a free market. That's favoritism. So Biden talks about hey, we're going to raise the cost. Come on, put it on my desk, man, and put a kid on it so I can sniff it. It's great. Smells like chocolate chip ice cream. Who shit my pants? This is weird, man. Come on, the thing. So Biden says he wants to raise the minimum wage to $15 an hour. Okay. I made the example last night. I said I have employees that work for Shell Shock that I pay $11 an hour because that's what the job is valued at to me. It's not a very difficult job. It is actually a very easy job. Someone will do that job. Minimum wage, I think, is like seven something an hour. I don't pay minimum. We pay at least 11, and that's for starters. That's like your 60-day or your 90-day probation period with us, and then you get bumped up to like 15, depending on what you're doing. But you got to prove to me you want to be here, and you can actually do what you say you're going to do. Now, if Biden says, "Hey, John, now you've got to raise that cost. You got to raise that payment to $15 an hour," that's bullshit. Now, here's a lesson for people out there. And I've been running this business for about 2.5 years. 2.5 years of seeing me getting bent over this desk with Josh over there, same thing, and the IRS coming in with no lube and just sticking that big fucking federal dick up our ass every single time. I've made this very clear. Last year, we paid over $500,000 in taxes. If you think for 1 second that you raising the cost, or you raising minimum wage, will not turn around and create inflation, you're out of your fucking mind. Two things are going to happen when you want to raise that minimum wage. And I'm asking you, please listen to me. Because, ladies and gentlemen, once you turn my voice off, you can walk out your front door and walk down to your nearest grocery store, your nearest McDonald's, and it is proven. It's right in front of your face. Companies that can afford it will start, it's actually three things. The first thing is you will cause inflation. The second thing is company will start outsourcing jobs to foreign areas because they have to pay less. What are you going to do? You can't touch them. The third thing, automation is going to take over even faster. Go look at McDonald's, go look at your grocery stores. There is now self-checkouts. This is going to continue spiraling. All because of what? The federal government coming in there and telling you this is what you have to do versus letting a competitive free market regulate itself. And it will work out. It will work out. I go into great detail on last night's stream. I should have made it a podcast episode. I talked about having employee retention, why you want to keep your employees in your business, and all these idiots, all these morons. I'm very transparent with how I do business. Right now, I've got $50,000 that I've got stashed. You know what I'm doing with this? That's just $50,000. That's only $50,000. That's not a lot. If you think about it, in the business world, that's not. Do you know what I'm going to do with that $50,000, ladies and gentlemen? You think I'm going to go spend it? Because now that I've got that money, what am I going to do to make more money? Invest. Exactly. Invest. That's what I'm talking about. So all these leftists that want to talk about how the rich are just hoarding money, where are they hoarding it? They're investing it. They're creating jobs by opening up new businesses. They're making more money. Ergo, their profits, they collect more profits. They do get richer, but they also put it back into the economy by creating jobs. So when people talk about this minor detail, this ever so tiny detail of raising the minimum wage, this is what you're going to create. And people don't understand this. We've seen it repeatedly. Go watch Milton Friedman. I'm telling you, I know I preach about this guy, but if you will go watch Milton Friedman on YouTube and his series on freedom to choose, just go watch it. It makes perfect sense. He talks about the abolishment of the FDA, which was just kind of like eye-opening to me. I was like, wait, what? You want to do what? And then you actually listen to him explain it. It's like, oh, okay. That makes sense. I get that. I like that. And again, you start giving the people, here's the thing. You give the freedom back to the people, and I hate saying it like that, but you also give them the responsibility. And I think that's at the core of why we have so many people out there screaming for socialism. The people don't want the responsibility of their poor fiscal decisions, but I'm afraid there is no other way to avoid that without sacrificing liberty. There is no other way. So the people have to be allowed to fail, to fall, and to starve. That's just the way it goes. That's the way freedom goes. The only opposite way of doing that is you have big daddy government coming in there and they run everything. Then you've basically got just a shit show of what's going on in these other countries. Biden talked about that last night. He talked about the cost of pharmacy drugs. He talked about doing all this stuff. You know, Mark Cuban is launching his own company now where he's basically undercutting the market. Hardcore. I think a lot of people don't seem to understand is that just because we see increased price, and by the way, Biden talked about insulin. Now I'm not so old that I remember what Trump did for insulin. Do you remember what Trump did for insulin? Do y'all remember that? Because I remember it. You know what Biden reversed? Kind of like fell on deaf ears. That kind of went away, didn't it? I'm still not in agreement with federal government getting involved. But if you're going to sit there and say, hey, why is the cost of insulin so high? Because you did that. Your Trump derangement syndrome undid what Trump did. This is how stupid this whole thing is to me. This is how ridiculous this is. Pepperidge Farm remembers. So Biden stands there on his throne of lies. And he continues spouting off about how the federal government can fix this by doing all these things to manipulate the market. And I discussed in great length last night. And I use shell shock as the example as far as the issues that we deal with on a daily, weekly, monthly, and annually basis. Taxes are killing us. You want to raise the minimum wage. Are you cutting my taxes to offset that bet, to balance that? No, you're not. You're not. I think I'm in like the highest tax bracket right now. I am paying well over 25%, I think it's 33%? Something like that. I forget what it is now. I actually got to look it back up. Over 25% of the money that I make is going to the federal government. I mean, not all. There is some going to state. Did you get where I'm going with this? 1/3 of my paycheck is gone. That's insanity. It's going to the federal government for them to send over $1 billion in aid to the Ukraine. Where was the vote on that? Where was the vote on this? Why? This is the problem with me. It's like, I understand there are elected officials that are there to represent us in office, but Jesus Christ. I think that there should be some massive poll that gets taken to when you make such a grand expenditure to that magnitude, saying, all right, guys, I know you're elected officials, but we're going to take a nationwide vote on this. Do we want to do this? I'm just appalled by this. Either way, let's move on. Biden talks about veterans. And you saw a little crypt keeper back there.
Yes, talk about the veterans. Little Nancy Pelosi. I'll get you, my pretties, and your little conservative dog, too.
She's sitting there with her eyebrows like peeled back to the back of her fucking scalp, back of her forehead. It's nuts. And she sits there with a little bony fucking just fingers just sitting there just waiting to clap. Because as soon as Biden said veterans, she was ready to just stand up and applause. Oh, yes, 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 yes. Talk about veterans. Absolutely. Oh. What did Biden really talk about? He talked about burn pits. We're going to get veterans the care they need. Look, I'm sorry. But Christ almighty, how many politicians have told us this that were red or fucking blue? Hey, we're going to fix the VA. Yeah, sure you will. I'm sure you will. It's only been fucked up since what, Vietnam? I'm not saying, and again, I have to caveat, not every VA is fucked up, but holy fuck me running. A lot of them are. It's ridiculous. We're going to get you access to the burn pit stuff because, you know, our government sent you there, so we're going to take care of you. Bro, where have you been for the last 20 fucking years? You've been in Congress. What's changed all of a sudden? What did you actually say is going to change? You just gave us a lot of hoopla. Give me a fucking law. Give me something. You're just running your fucking mouth. It's like, hey, man, we're going to change the world. And everybody's like, yeah. How are we going to change it? Hey, this tastes like chocolate chip and smells like kids. You're not giving me anything tangible. You're just running your fucking mouth. Hell, if Joe Biden had a fucking Facebook profile, I'm sure there'd be a flag in the VA on there. So I stand with the vets. Well, cool. What are you doing? I stand with them. Okay, cool. And look, to every single one of you motherfuckers out there, you need to hear this. Like, you really need to fucking hear this. If you change your Facebook profile to a Ukrainian flag, you're a fucking idiot. You really are. What do you think that's going to do? All this is at the core root is virtue signaling to your friends to make you look like you're a good and decent human being. Meanwhile, there's Ukraine, and I'm not for getting involved in Ukraine, but I like calling out the bullshit on both sides because you motherfuckers need to come to Jesus' wake-up call. And I'm the man. I'm John the Savage out in the wilderness screaming it to you morons. It doesn't do shit except make you feel good. It's an action committed in essentially selfishness to make yourself feel good. I stand with Ukraine, yes. Meanwhile, there's an 18-year-old over there with a fucking AK-47 getting fucking PKM rounds coming at his ass. Hey, Olgoff, I see a profile picture of American. They stand with us. Oh, good. They bring ammo? No, but they change Facebook profile. Oh, this is good. They bring air support? No. Well, what fucking good does that do? Nothing, but hey, it makes me feel good, warm inside. Oh, okay. Hey, Olgov had head blown off. No support from America there. Okay. Now, again, I'm not calling for support. And you people can hate me. I don't really give a fuck. Unless you feed, fuck, or finance me, I don't give a shit what you think about me. But I'm certainly going to call you on your bullshit because it's ridiculous. It's fucking ridiculous. And the reason that this is such an issue is because this is now modern day activism. All this is social media slacktivism. It's like putting one step forward to say, I'm getting in the fight, and then take it 2 steps back. You're not doing anything. You're just making yourself feel good. You think those kids that are getting blown the fuck up over there give a shit about your opinion on Russia being the aggressor? And by the way, don't even get me started on 2014 coup d'etat in Ukraine, where a pro-Russian government was violently overthrown by Ukrainians. And guess who helped facilitate this? The Obama administration. Yes. Are you holding on to your fucking chairs right now, ladies and gentlemen? Because look, I don't always get it right, and I'm still learning as we go. These aren't conspiracy theories. These are just actions that happened that I didn't even fucking know about. And then I wake up to it, it's like, Jesus Christ, the American government is at the root of a lot of international conflict. We have launched so many fucking conflicts because we put our fingers where they didn't belong. The Cuban Missile Crisis. You remember this. Before my time. Essentially, America didn't like the fact that Russia was trying to hedge in and get as close to America as they could. And then what do? We turn around and try and do that in Ukraine. And Putin's kind of like, oh, I don't like the... NATO refused to address Putin's concerns. I get where Putin is coming from. I am by no means calling him a good human being. I am by no means saying this invasion is justified. But I certainly understand why he's doing it. NATO fucking favored Ukraine. Ukraine is basically a little America over there. Biotech labs, missile facilities. Are you fucking kidding me? And Russia does not like America. And saying, hey, you know the whole Cuban Missile Crisis thing? You're kind of doing it to us. What the fuck? So yes, America is at fault. And I'm not saying American people, the government is at fault. And this is the overall point that I'm trying to make. American people aren't at fault. The Russian people aren't at fault. But guess who is going to die for these politicians doing this bullshit? Those people that had nothing to do with it. I sincerely hope that makes sense, ladies and gentlemen. I sincerely hope that makes sense. Y'all need to wake up, man. Y'all need to wake the fuck up. I'm not talking about a new world order. I'm not going down that road. I'm talking about politicians that are having civilians doing their fighting for them. And we just go. We goose step in line to the beat of the fucking drum. Just going down the street, marching off to war. For what? To die for what? You want to go die for Ukraine? Go die for Ukraine. Make yourself feel good. Go get the sting of battle if that's what you really want. But what are you really fighting for? You got one life to live. Many of you have families. You've got children, husbands, wives, daughters. You really want to go fucking risk getting... And here's the other thing that a lot of you don't seem to understand. It was back in 2003. I posted about this on Instagram. We were at Fob St. Michael's in Iraq during the invasion. And our base got hammered daily with mortar fire from neighboring villages around. We had a little patrol base set up. It was maybe a couple miles total. It wasn't very big. If that. Wasn't even, I think maybe a mile across. And we had HESCO barriers filled with sand. Middle of fucking nowhere. I don't know if it was MSR Tampa or Irish. It was the IED one. Like it was bad. It was bad fucking news. Like if you drove down that road without getting hit by an IED, you were fucking lucky. And I remember I was walking to the Porta-John to go take a shit or rub one out. I don't remember which. I mean, we did them both in there. That's what everybody, if you're a veteran, you know what I'm talking about. And I remember hearing the sound of what it sounds like when somebody blows on the mouth of an old jug. Like a, if you're a veteran, you served over there, you'll know what I'm talking about. I know you remember this. That's the sound of a mortar launch. You hear a thunk, and it's very faint, but you can pick up on it. You hear it. You train your ears to listen to that. So I'm sitting there. My pants hadn't even fucking hit the ground yet, and I hear thunk, and I'm like, oh, fuck. Run out of there and head to a bunker. And they're dropping mortars on us and mortars on us. Earlier that day, they sent 4 or 5 dudes to the dirt pit. The dirt pit was where we basically filled sandbags to bag our hooches, our wooden shacks we lived in. We had to live in sandbag bunkers to an extent. We had no cover, you know. And so they start dropping mortars on us for like 10 minutes, if that, because they drop these mortars and they run. They usually do it out of a backup pickup truck or whatever the case may be. Like, they were real guerrilla fighters. These people knew what they were doing. That's why when people say, fuck the Taliban, they were good fighters. Republican Guard, too. Over in Iraq, Taliban in Afghanistan, 100%. They were good fucking fighters. I will not take that from them. The firing ended. Explosions. You could see where it was kind of cool, though, because you could see where the mortars were landing, and you could see the adjustments they'd make on the mortar tube. And essentially, you know, they would just do corrections, like 50-meter increment corrections. So you'd see a mortar land, and then another mortar would land 50 meters off one direction or whatever the case may be. But it was cool to kind of see that, being on the receiving end versus the firing end, if you will. And the firing ended. And I remember, I think I was 18 years old. And my sergeant said, hey, they need people for a detail at the burn pit. I was like, oh, fuck, I got to go fill sandbags. So I get there, and it was an MP platoon that lived close to that rock pit. And this MP sergeant hands me these black leather gloves. You remember those old black leather shells, the black leather inserts? And you put the green things on the black leather over it. It was supposed to keep your hands warm. It didn't do dick all for that. It was the most worthless fucking gloves ever. I hated those goddamn gloves. And he hands me these gloves, and he's like, we got to pick them up. I'm like, what are you talking about? And I kind of look, and then I don't know how I didn't see it before, but there's blood all over the rocks. And those 4 or 5 dudes that got sent, I didn't know these guys. I didn't know who they were. They were just a neighboring unit to us. They were soldiers. And it was so fucking hot that day. It was so goddamn hot. And there was blood everywhere. But the thing that was most interesting was that the flesh was actually melted into the rock. I'd never seen that before. Chunks of flesh, human flesh, our brothers, young men, 18, 19, 20 years old. The mortar impacted and killed them instantly, shredded them. Like it was a perfect hit. There were pieces of chunks of scalp hair. I remember pieces of brain on the back of the Humvee. Anyway, we had to pick this up and put it in these bags. These clear plastic bags, because they had to take them to the mortician, I believe it was. I was 18 years old. 18 years old. These are the things that I want you to think on when you think about how glorious it is to go into war. About this pride you want to achieve when you want to go fight your enemy. Now, I'm not saying this, that when conflict comes up, we back out. I'm not saying that. What I'm saying, though, is war is a 3-letter word that we toss around ever so lightly. But I don't feel like the majority of the people out there understand just what goes into this war. We see these films where these heroes are hailed, and it's such a great thing, which we get the ending we want. The good guys win, and they go riding off into the sunset. Ladies and gentlemen, that's not the case in real life. That is not war. War is disgusting, and I'm not saying this to be cliche. The shit you will do, the shit you will see, and the worst part about it is that if you want to go march off and go fight in Ukraine and you somehow survive, you're going to carry that shit with you for the rest of your fucking life. And it's not going to be one of those things that is just ever present in your mind. It's going to affect your personality, and you're not even going to realize it. I am a very pessimistic person, and I understand why. I look back at the history of what I've done for this country, and I understand why I am so fucking angry all the goddamn time. I understand why I'm very skeptical about people. I'm very leery to get involved in other people's shit. Where before, I was like, yeah, let's go to war. Now it's like, nope. These movies sound so sexy and shit, ladies and gentlemen, but until you're actually there, I still know what burnt flesh smells like. Just like that. And for some, I don't know why, but it kind of reminded me of CS gas. I don't know why. But these very same people that are calling for this, or you want to get involved, or I stand, then go fucking do it. Go experience hell. Go experience hell on earth, and you tell me if that's something that you want to do. Is it worth you risking your life for that? Or your mental well-being for the remainder of your life, to where you can't have a good relationship? You don't have any friends. You resort to drinking. You do drug use. And on top of that, you're exposed to the burn pits. You want a realistic look into a combat veteran's life? You deal with all this bullshit, and then you come home to a country where you can't even go get fucking treatment at the VA, and you're broke because you're so fucked up in the head and you can't hold a good job because all the Army taught you how to do was fucking kill. That's all my generation knew how to do. My first marriage, I remember my father-in-law, he was just kind of like, and I apologize for going off topic here. My father-in-law was like, you don't really have, he didn't say it in a mean way, but he's like, you don't really know how to do like a lot of stuff. Dude, I was out of the Army at like 20. I didn't know how to change a tire. I didn't know how to change oil. I didn't have a father figure in my life. But you know what I could do good? A fucking hasty linear ambush. I knew how to fucking do a claymore mine. I knew how to booby trap shit. I knew how to employ a fucking squad, how to break contact, how to flank. I knew urban warfare like the back of my fucking hand. I could kick in a door. I knew what was coming. I knew corn fed, center fed. I knew what cyclic rate of fire was. I knew machine gun theory. We were fucking trained for war. And then you send us back to back to back to back, non-fucking stop. And then we come home and we are so fucked up and you wonder why we can't hold jobs. Christ almighty, really? And then you come home and the military that sent you can't even handle dealing with psychological behavior or behavioral health. They're just overloaded. And what do they do instead? They throw fucking pills down your mouth. The same pills that the VA is getting they're getting, like, these pharmas are just, guys, you don't understand. They are fucking killing us with these big pharma meds. Hey, instead of getting psychological help and actually talking, what about EMDR? What about these psychological ways of getting this shit out of your head and helping you heal? Maybe not fix, but at least fucking heal. No. Let's throw pills down their throat. Let's turn them into fucking walking zombies. We focus on the war and then the outcome. But nobody really focused on the longevity or the after effects of said war and the cost on society of a select few that volunteered to go. Now, I'm not trying to blame anybody here, but keep that in mind. Keep that in mind, please. So when Biden goes up there and you give this speech about we're going to get the veterans the help they need, what the fuck are you talking about, dude? What are you talking about? Over and over and over. We've heard this from every goddamn politician under the fucking sun. We care about our veterans. Really? The same ones that you booted out of the army because they didn't want to get vaccinated? Some of which were combat veterans? Really? The ones that couldn't stay employed? That went and fought your fucking war for oil? They went over there for where are these weapons of mass destruction, Bush? We were fucking lied to, America. But you please tell me how I'm supposed to give a fuck about a government that sends us over there to fight your fucking unlawful, unjust war, and then we come home and we try and acclimate back into society, and then you shit can us because we don't want to get a fucking forced jab from the very same government that fucked us over in the first place? I'm sorry. Are you fucking retarded? And then you wonder why veterans are blowing their brains all over the goddamn fucking ceilings all the fucking time. Is it really any wonder? You created this mess. The federal government did this. But hey, we're going to take care of our veterans. Sure you will. Fucking sure you will. Now look, all of what I've just told you, when I see some young buck come up to me, and I'm only 37 years old, man. When I see some young buck come up to me and he says, hey, John, I want to serve. You tell me what to tell that kid after everything I've just fucking told you. And you know what the common response is going to be from somebody that does it, that has never heard this speech before? Patriotism, man. Yeah. No, bro, that ain't patriotism. I'm sorry, but it's not. It's not. My eyes are slowly opening up to the atrocities this fucking government has committed in the name of freedom for other countries. And yet we have a country on fire right now. So you'll forgive me if I don't care what's going on in Ukraine. You'll forgive me if I don't give a fuck what's going on in China. I care what's happening in America. I want to know what's going on with our people. I want them to have affordable, fair-paying jobs like you Democrats love to fucking do. It's hard to do when you're raising our fucking taxes. I watched a TikTok right before the show. There's some fucking, she had to be a teenage, just really fat girl. And she's proud as she just crams all this shit down her throat. McDonald's, this, just over. And I'm not saying all people do this, but you get where I'm going. And she's clearly morbidly obese, which according to COVID stats put her up into the 80% category of dying because she's obese, or 81% die from COVID with obesity-related issues, or vice versa. And you want me to foot the bill for her health care? Ladies and gentlemen, you know I chew chewing tobacco. So if I develop lip cancer, I hope I don't. I need to quit. I'm not going to lie about that. That's why I don't really like promoting it too much. That'd be like me coming to one of you saying, hey guys, can you pay for my medical bills because I made this stupid fucking decision knowing full well the ramifications of my choices. Remember at the beginning of the episode where I talked about how our society does not want to handle the responsibilities of the choices they make or the outcomes or the ramifications rather, excuse me? That's case in point right there. Big brother government comes in and says, oh, hey man, you fucked up, you ate too much, you're fat fuck, you need some gastric bypass. Yeah, we'll foot the bill. Your brothers will. Your fellow taxpayer, absolutely, man. And if they can't, we'll print more money on the Fed and devalue the dollar. Hey, what could go wrong, you know? Smells like kids. I'm just saying. Just saying. Make it make sense. Because it doesn't to me. All right, let me get back on topic. So the Biden address, VA burn pits, and he talks about his son who perished. Now, I'm not going to talk shit about this guy. I didn't know who he was. Excuse me. Apparently he died. I think it was from cancer. But the thing that pissed me off about that was that Biden said at the beginning of that, I don't know if it was the burn pit that got him, you know. And then at the end of it, he says, he died from burn pit. It's like, wait, you just said you didn't know for sure, but now it is. So which is it? And notice how you left Hunter out, who, by the way, is a veteran. Do y'all know what happened to Hunter Biden? I hope you do. Didn't he do some drugs as a leader, an officer? Didn't he kind of have like a little crack addiction? Yeah, dishonorably discharged. Dishonorably discharged. Weird. Weird. No mention to him, that piece of shit. But hey, go look at the deal that the Obama administration did with Ukraine, and go look at the job that Hunter Biden got as a chairman on. I'll let you go do the investigating. We talked about it in previous episodes. You go do some digging, ladies and gentlemen, and you're going to find out very quickly that Ukraine has blood on its hands. Ukraine is not as innocent as you think it is. But hey, you keep believing that MSM. Now look, I take that back. You know what? I'm sorry. A lot of you don't know because you're like me. You take what you hear from the news and you take it at face value. And I'm just here kind of saying, look, guys, I'm trying to learn as I can, and I'm showing you what I'm learning. And I'm trying to lead you in the right direction. Like, look, I'm not saying this is right. I'm not saying this is wrong, but here is the whole picture. Maybe take a look at this before you finalize your opinion, because there is fucking blood on all hands involved on this one. So when they're wanting you, if you're a parent right now and you're listening to me, if you're watching me on Twitch or Facebook or YouTube, these people that have blood on their hands, they want to send your son, they want to send your daughter to go fight their wars, because these wars occur from those people who have blood on their hands, their actions. This isn't about freedom. This isn't about liberty. This is about political fuck-ups and national sovereignty. I understand where Putin's coming from. I get it. NATO fucked up. U.S. really fucked up. Obama really fucked up. You could almost blame this, possibly the majority of which, on Obama administration. Who, by the way, who was the VP of that one, Joe? Why is that not in the news? Why is nobody covering this? Maybe because, oh, wait for it, there's some Republicans involved in this too. I think people are waking up. But what really irritated me is that you come in here or he goes in there and he's talking about his son dying. Makes no mention of Hunter Biden. Like, come on, dude, you mentioned one, you better mention the other. Taking care of our veterans, whom the son you raised is a piece of shit. He makes these promises to veterans, none of which are going to come to pass. It's just fucking lip service. And he goes on that tangent. He talks about his first SCOTUS nominee. I'm honestly surprised he did not mention the fact that she was black. But his handlers probably told him, don't do that. Probably told him that. And they were smart too. And Biden went on and on and on and on. Again, he is the great white liberal savior of America. Thank you, President Biden. I appreciate all you've done for us. Again, he barely touched on the 8% inflation that we're currently dealing with right now. Barely even touched on that. You want to know what Americans are really concerned with? Their fucking wallets, and they should be. We looked at the chat last night. I was just wondering, and I asked the chat. I think we had well over 2,000 viewers last night, which I appreciate every single one of you for tuning in. Thank you. The average cost of a gallon of gas around the country is what I'm seeing is about roughly $4. Roughly $4. In some places in California, it's $7.50. Americans are pissed. And then Biden goes out there, and I was talking to my girlfriend today on the way to the airport, and she's a nurse. She's been doing it for a while. She's very intelligent. And she actually didn't get a chance to answer because we went off topic. But Biden talked about he wants to fund, hopefully within like 25 years, but I think we can do it faster. He wants to cut cancer death rates down by 50%? Really? Really? You're going to be the president. Look, dude, if you're the president that develops a cure for cancer, which I think, I kind of think they already do have a cure. I mean, if you really think about it, I think they kind of do have a cure. But either way, because here's the thing. If there is a cure for cancer, what is that going to do to Big Pharma? Shit. So I want to say, by and large, last night's State of the Union was shallow. It was just, listening to it made me just roll my eyes. The Biden presidency is living in denial and manufactured stats that actually are not accurate whatsoever. Ladies and gentlemen. And to make matters worse, the Republican response after the fact, I almost turned off. That's the best you could do. You put an old woman up there, and she's just sitting there like, cool. I mean, you said some good things. You know what? I even hate to say this. I hate to fucking say this, but I got to give credit where credit is due. You know who actually made a really good counter? Marjorie Taylor Greene. I listened to it, and she fucking hit the nail on the head, point after point after point. She drove the points home, and I was like, wow, I'm impressed. She's a good speaker, but sometimes she says some really stupid shit. But last night, she nailed it. She did. It doesn't mean I'm a big supporter of hers, but I will give credit where credit is due. She fucking killed it. She's shredding Biden to pieces. And she brought up she brought up gas prices. She brought up small businesses. And the thing that I will respect about Marjorie Taylor Greene, she is a small business owner. The majority of members of Congress never actually have owned businesses that they were involved in. Did you know that? A lot of these people are not. AOC never owned a business. She was a bartender, amongst other things, and a college student. Never actually owned a business. So please explain to me what a P&L is. Please explain to me what your overhead costs are. Please explain to me all of these terms that kind of do apply in an economic world. Please explain to me basic economics. Explain to me the difference between bottom, middle, or trickle-down economics. Please explain this to me. And if you can't, you probably shouldn't be in Congress. This is what happens when you have a popularity contest and you get morons elected to office. Anyway, so Marjorie went up there and she actually nailed some good points. Now, I know that it was apparently Lauren Boebert that shouted out when Biden had talked about Afghanistan. Note how we did not talk about the withdrawal or the $86 billion that got left behind. He didn't say, no, of course not, I was going to say. And then she stands up and says, he talked about the caskets. We don't want any more flag draped captains. She said, you put 13 of them in it. Well done. He did. And then Republicans, that was uncalled for. Fuck you. Fuck you. You kidding me? A failed withdrawal, a disgustingly failed withdrawal, got 13 men, I think one woman killed. And you Republicans are getting upset because she stands up and says, you put 13, you did. Your administration, you did. These men and those women died in a botched withdrawal that President Biden wanted done in a very, very rapid pace. And Republicans are upset about, I mean, Democrats they get upset about everything, but Republicans like, really? Okay, whatever. So overall, last night's State of the Union, and we called it. Everybody that watched, you knew what was coming. We're not stupid. We're sitting here, we're just like, oh God, you're going to feed us bullshit, aren't you? Okay, you're going to manipulate the facts. You're going to manipulate the data. And did I not call it Twitch? My Lost Savages, which, by the way, is the new name for our community. We are the Lost Savages. We don't have a political home. We're constitutionalists. We're pro-liberty. We're pro-freedom. We're like the Lost Boys. We said, are we going to be the Savage Army? Or are we going to be the Lost Boys? And somebody said, let's be the Lost Savages. Like, fucking love that. And our logo is the eggplant. Eggplant energy, baby. Hashtag eggplant energy. That's what I'm talking about. Did I not call it last night, though? To my Lost Savages in chat? Did we not know what was coming? Called it in the stream. I said, watch for Biden to position himself as if he is the hero. As if he has basically saved us. He talked about COVID restrictions. Isn't it miraculous? I mean, isn't this interesting to me? Or it's very interesting to me that the science suddenly changed right before the State of the Union. Suddenly, we don't need masks. Huh. Wow. I guess Omicron wasn't that dangerous after all. Weird. How convenient for you. Then he gets in there. He's like, hey, we're all together like we haven't been in a long time. But we're here now, united. Okay, Biden. I posted on my Instagram today. And I hoped you watched because I'm so fucking brilliant. Nah, I'm playing. President Biden tweeted this out. I'm going to read to you a verbatim tweet. He said, let's stop looking at COVID as a partisan dividing line and see it for what it is, a god-awful disease. Let's stop seeing each other as enemies and start seeing each other for who we really are, fellow Americans. Mr. President, you can go fuck yourself. You tried to get people fired, unemployed, have their lives destroyed if they did not want to get this fucking experimental jab that you tried shoving into our fucking arms. And you have the audacity to sit there and say, let's stop looking at COVID like a partisan issue. You and everybody else, to include Trump, made it a partisan issue. Now, at least with Trump, he's not for forcing it on people. He's just saying, you want it, here it is, it's blah, blah. Trump fucking did Operation Warp Speed, which I don't agree with. I think it's bullshit. I mean, in a sense of like rushing it. We still don't know the after effects of this shit, not by and large. He said, let's stop seeing each other as enemies and start seeing each other for who we really are, fellow Americans. I'm sorry, but fellow Americans, don't try and get other fellow Americans' lives destroyed fiscally because they choose not to undergo this medical jab that the science later on came out and said, oh, by the way, the antibodies are better than the fucking vaccine. Weird again. And I remember this meme that circulated not more than a year ago, said this is the longest period of having to wait to say, I fucking told you so, than in my entire life. But, and here it is, turn your volume up. I fucking told you so. Once more for effect, I fucking told you so. Democrats, you didn't listen. Republicans, many of you, there were a lot of Republicans that were pro-force mandated jabs and shit. You didn't listen. Now, where are you at now? Life is back to normal. Everything's good, right? You don't give a fuck. My, how quickly forget those that wanted to try and destroy the lives of fellow Americans. I have no peace with you. I don't give two fucks about you. If Russia came in, and I'm being honest here. If Russia came in and invaded, and you motherfuckers that wanted the vaccine forced on people by force, and they took you prisoner, I tell them to execute you. I wouldn't give two fucks about you because you didn't give a shit about me. And that's why I've tried telling every single person out there, there is no social or moral obligation for Americans to even give a fuck about each other. Leave me the fuck alone and let me live my life. That's all I care about. I do believe in community. Please don't take this the wrong way. But if you want to sit there and say that a federal force should come in and physically jab those that don't want to get it, bro, I don't give a fuck what anybody would do to you. You are the enemy. If you're the enemy of freedom, if you're enemy of the Constitution, you're my fucking enemy. If you so happen to have the nationalism or the nationalist name America, if you're an American national, I think that you're just an enemy in disguise, quite honestly. I don't fucking care about you. I don't. John, that's me. Go on Twitter one of these days and go see just how well received you are for being pro-medical freedom. Hey, man, you know what America's going to do? We're going to shut down the airspace from Russia and sanctions. No more flights coming over. Hey, good job. What about Russians that want to defect? What about Russians that want to leave Russia? Say, fuck this, I'm out of here. Fuck them, right? Oh, that's weird to me because the same person accused Trump of wanting to close the border to China with the outbreak. Didn't you accuse him of xenophobia? My, how quickly you liberals forget. Oh, but Daddy John Savage is here to save you. That's right. I remember. I got a brain like an elephant. That's right. Mm-hmm. I remember. I'm not a Pepperidge Farm remembers. I remember. Mm-hmm. You don't like that, do you? My, how quickly you forget. No. That's not racist. That's not racist. Oh, my fucking hell. That's not racist. Not like that. That's different. It's the same goddamn thing. You kidding me? It's just the reasoning is different, but it's the same fucking thing. Now, again, that's actually not even xenophobia. Because not all people from China are Chinese. Not all people from Africa are African American or black. Not all people from Russia, it's a nationality, not a race. I get that. I understand that. But playing by your rules, why am I not surprised? Okay. Oh, my God. I'm sorry. I can't help it. I can't help it. Oh, my God. All right. Let's get into the news. I'm on one today, baby. I'm on one today. We're going to be doing a stream tonight on Twitch, by the way. For those that are interested, we'll be streaming on Twitch tonight at The John Burke. Appreciate your love and support, guys. You guys are fucking amazing. All right, let's get into it. All right. Now, look. I probably should have titled the episode this. My representative here in Texas, we've talked about him many times, Van Taylor. Representative Van Taylor, he's a Republican, here in my district in Texas. I read this article on Breitbart, and I could not stop laughing my ass off because this was just so good. This is just so fucking good. All right? And we're going to have more live Ukraine coverage tonight on my Twitch channel. I'll be doing it over there. And don't forget, Drunken Debates this Saturday at 7 p.m. CST. Got a great panel lined up for you guys. Drunken Debates is making its return. Its much wanted return. Representative Van Taylor, this is from Breitbart. Representative Van Taylor fails to win GOP Texas primary after alleged affair is reported. Oh, no. Wait. It gets better. Now, here's the thing. I don't give a fuck. Republicans that are just, I'm going to read more into this article, but I want you to keep this in the back of your mind. 80% or 81%, I believe it's quoted in this article, that voted Van Taylor also voted Trump. Now, any Republican in my district of Texas, where I'm at, if you dare to clutch your pearls, oh my God, oh Jesus, what is he doing? Oh my God, he's having an affair. I'm not voting for him. He doesn't align with my morals. You do realize you voted for Trump, who fucked a porn star. Uh-oh. Look out now. Y'all really aren't going to like me. You're not going to like me. But it's the truth. It's the truth. Do you want your politicians to vote according to your political viewers or leanings? Or do you really give a fuck about what they do behind the bedroom? I personally don't give a shit. You want to live in a glass house? Live in a glass house. Go for it. But don't you dare sit there and cherry pick when you're fucking outraged. Don't you dare sit there on your ivory tower throne of just, selective outrage. I'm just so outraged. I'm so outraged he would do this. And then turn around and worship God, King Daddy Trump. Hitting him today. Hitting him with the facts today. Feels so good. I don't care that he had an affair. How does he vote? And he's actually not voted. I think he voted in favor of impeachment of Trump for the January 6th thing, so I didn't like him after that. Marine Corps officer. What he does in his private time, I don't give a shit. Many of you are conditioned to think like that, especially in the GOP side of the house. You got your turning point grifters that have these religious things, And then behind closed doors, they're fucking each other like crazy. Unprotected, might I add. Hey, you do whatever you want. Oh, and by the way, blow, it's very popular in certain circles. Wink, wink. Ooh. And here's the thing. I don't fucking care. If you want to go to a Turning Point event, coked out of your fucking mind, hey, bro, more power to you. I just don't want to pay for it. Anyway, I digress. Representative Van Taylor fails to win GOP Texas primary after alleged affair reported. Now, again, it gets better. Embattled Representative Van Taylor on Tuesday failed to win outright his 5-way Republican Texas primary after an alleged affair with an ISIS bride was reported earlier in the week. Taylor, first elected to Congress in 2018 by 10 percentage points, received less than 50% of Tuesday's vote, 49.9%, and thus will enter a runoff with Keith Self, who placed second. Appointed to the United States Military Academy at West Point, Self served in the Army for 25 years. He later ran for and was elected county judge in Collin County. Taylor was the overwhelming favorite to win outright, but after a newly alleged affair with ISIS bride Tania Joya was revealed Monday by Breitbart News, Taylor came up shy approximately 800 votes to avoid a runoff. Taylor's alleged affair with ISIS bride Tania Joya, which lasted from November of 2020 to June of 2021, entailed a payment from Taylor to Joya for $5,000, Joya told Breitbart. The payment, she says, was made in cash given to her by the congressman. Joya showed Breitbart banking reports that demonstrated she made a $5,000 deposit into her account when she says the affair occurred, and shown in the photo below. That's actually not proof. I could say Van Taylor wanted to sniff my butthole and then pay me $1,000. I take $1,000 cash, I put it in my account. Oh, here's the deposit. Oh, well, it must be true. That could be for anything. That's not actual proof. But anyway, we'll keep going. I think he's guilty of this, but I'm just saying that's not evidence. That's just saying, okay, you just got, like in a court of law, like really, we're not lawyers here, but you're telling me that, hey, this $1,000 cash deposit, you're saying that was from him? Okay, well, can you prove it? Well, no, it was cash, so then you can't prove it was him. Do you have pictures of him handing you the cash or any video? Like, no, okay, well, you got nothing. I mean, that's just where I stand, so. The $5,000 payment, she said, was given in cash. Joya said, blah, blah, blah. And a text message the Breitbart review between Joy and Taylor, the congressman, requested. And here's where it goes, ladies and gentlemen. Here's where it goes. Like, hey, congressman, here it is. He says, he texted her saying, I want a long, slow rim job and deep throat sexual acts while you stroke my cock and I come on your tonsils. Bro, get your freak on. That's what I'm talking about. I don't give a fuck. I mean, who gives a shit? I mean, yeah, don't get me wrong. The affair is wrong. I'm not trying to say that this is, but I'm like, really? Really? Oh, it sounds horrible. But why is nobody talking about this bitch? You took the money. You did it, knowing he was married. Why is nobody crucifying you? You're the fucking homewrecker. He's just as guilty. The real victims are his wife and 3 kids. But this cunt has the audacity to sit there and be like, oh. Look, you're the one that went tongue to butthole. You got paid for it. Essentially, you're a hooker. I mean... Spit in my mouth. Dude, I don't give a fuck what you do. And the way they try and portray this, you evangelical conservatives, oh my God. Here's the thing. In my dating experience, I was talking to Mary about this the other day. In my dating experience, it's the conservative women. You are fucking freaks in the sheets. You're freaks, but you don't talk about it. Liberals are too, but they're open and adamant about that shit. Republicans, oh my fuck. Come on. You are fucking freaks, just like the rest of us. Oh my God, a rim job's gross. You never got your ass eaten? Really? Okay, cool, whatever. But don't sit there and pretend like that's above you or like you've never done that or you've had it done. Like, come on. Oh my God, he went down on her. He actually licked her vagina with his tongue. Oh my God. Grow the fuck up. It's sex. And this is exactly why in the conservative movement, you're looked at as closed-minded bigots. Because you do this shit behind closed doors. You just don't tell anybody about it, but you fucking do it. And you people that scream the loudest about that's so perverted. I bet if I went and looked at your browser history, there's probably some midget porn laying around there somewhere. We represent the lollipop guild, lick my butt, lollipop guild, suck my cock, lollipop guild. Guarantee it. I guarantee it. You want truth? I'm giving you fucking truth. And this is the truth. I'm 37. I've been around the world. I grew up in a church. I know exactly how you people are. I know you because I'm one of you. And here's the thing. If you like coming on a girl's tonsils and she enjoys it too, if she wants to sit on your face, if she wants to shit on your chest, if you want to fucking watch midget porn while you jump around on a pogo stick and get each other off, here's the thing. Good for you. And I'm serious, man. Good for you. If two people can come together and have a sexual experience that they both enjoy, that they both consent to, and isn't hurting anybody else and doesn't involve children, then let your freak flag fucking fly. The only difference is don't parade that shit around in front of children. And don't try and force that shit down other people's throats and demand they accept it. That's the only difference I have there. That's all I care about. So if you want to be a complete I'm a freak in the bedroom. I don't give a fuck. I don't care who knows that. I don't give a shit about that. I love freaky sex. The spanking and the choking, absolutely. Who gives a fuck? If you enjoy it, man, do you.
No, sex is only for missionary style, and you don't look me in the eyes and you look away, and then when you're about to ejaculate your semen in my vagina, you should probably say a prayer right after and ask for forgiveness.
Fuck out of here with that craziness. You people are so fucking full of shit and hypocrites. You're sexual. If you've got a dick, you got a vagina, you got hormones. You like having sex. There's nothing wrong with that. So stop trying to paint it as if these people are wrong or disgusting. If she wants you to pull her hair and spit in her mouth, then pull her hair and spit in her mouth like a fucking rock star and make her happy. And the woman can do the same thing for a man. I don't give a shit. Oh, my God. So this is why Republicans say, you're a rhino, John. Yeah, I'm not a Republican because I'm not going to sit there and hide behind my Bible and be the biggest fucking hypocrite in the world and say, this is wrong, but let's do this behind the scenes where nobody can see us because, we need to look more. It's more important to look as if we're holy than actually be holy. These same fucking boomer Republicans, these same congressional candidates, even gubernatorial candidates, that sit there and take their hats off and pray and blah, 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 blah. How many women have you fucked around on behind your wife? How many drugs have you crammed up your fucking nose? And you have the audacity to sit there and use God as your shield and your hammer to go after other people. How dare you? You're worse. I would much rather hang out with open sinners because at least I know where they stand because that's who Jesus went for than you hypocrites that try and live one life and actually do something behind closed doors. And I'm not saying all Christians are like that. Please don't take it this way, or people that were religious in general. But it's those types of people that normally point the finger the most and scream the loudest. You're usually the most guilty of it. I've seen this over and over again. And here's the thing. If two guys want to go fuck each other in the ass, have at it. Go to town. Two women want a scissor, do your thing. If two girls and a guy want to get on it, I've had threesomes. Knock yourself out. It's fun. There's dick for everybody. It's a magical pot of dick. I've got dick for your dick. It's like Oprah. You're getting a dick. You're getting a dick. We're all getting dicks. Not me, though. But you get where I'm going with that. Who gives a shit? Does this affect any of you? No. And if you're worried about your children, then teach them the way that you want them to be brought up. Because those people saying, this is going to affect my children, translates to, I'm a shitty parent. I can't protect my kids from this because I don't have the teaching skills to show them right from wrong. You still with me? My lost savages? Did I lose a few? I bet I lost a few of you. The fire rises. I just like how this woman, this prostitute, they're going after Van Taylor because he's the guy running for Congress. Or running again for re-election. But somehow, this bitch is the victim. Lady, you fucking knew what you were doing. I don't give a goddamn if you're from Iraq, especially from Iraq, because you know how this shit works. In Iraq, you wouldn't get paid $5,000. They just do it to you. Taylor has not responded for multiple requests for comments. Taylor is married as the father of 3 children. He was first elected to Congress in 2019 as a Republican. Taylor did vote in favor of enacting the January 6th committee. That's what he voted for. That's why I disagree with him, which is bullshit. Perhaps due to an increasingly blue district back home. Again, that sounds very Rhino-esque to me. Like you're going to bend the knee to a fucking increasingly blue district? Bullshit. That's wrong. Right is right. Wrong is wrong, regardless of what your voter base. Here's the thing. These politicians, they're statists. They will change their opinion if their voter base changes because they want to get reelected. So realistically, they don't have an original thought. They don't have an original opinion. They're just puppets. They're just fucking puppets. District 3 has a population of roughly 913,000 residents, which voted for Donald Trump over Hillary Clinton by 14 points in 2020. Trump defeated President Joe Biden in the district by 1 point. Yet Taylor won the general election in 2020 with 55% of the vote against Democrat, 42%. Excuse me. So when I said before the 80%, it was actually 50-something% that voted for Trump, that also voted for Van Taylor. So 50%. If you're outraged, shut the fuck up. Nobody's listening. Nowhere has the surge of runoff election will be Tuesday, May 24th. It already happened. And so, yeah. Let me see if I can find the other article this was linked to. Yeah, here's the other article on Breitbart. Exclusive ISIS bride says Texas Congressman Van Taylor paid her to keep quiet about affair. And again, you took money. You knew what you were doing. You knew he was married. You knew he had 3 kids. You're just as much as guilty as he is. So don't sit there and try to like get ahead of this by coming out first and saying, oh, you're no victim. You're just a slut. And if you are, good for you. I don't give a fuck. The payment she made was made in cash given to her the congressman. Again, here's the bank report, so you can see it right there. But again, there is nothing that links this to Van Taylor whatsoever. Joya has not revealed the relationship until now. Why now? Why now, Joya? Come on. You secretly a lib, aren't you? You secretly a lib. You're a lib plant to go in there and fuck a congressman and then try and ruin his career, aren't you? You snippery little slee bitch. I don't know. I'm just speculating here. Joya told Breitbart News she first met Taylor in August of 2019 when she was looking to get involved with the Preventing of Violent Extremists program in the district's school system. Joya thought the congressman might have connections to facilitate her involvement. I'm sure she did. Taylor, married with 3 children and elected to Congress in 2019 as a Republican. He is one of 35 Republicans who voted in favor of creating House Speaker Nancy Pelosi's DCA January 6th committee. Taylor is running for re-election in 2022 against 4 other Republican primary challengers. The primary is Tuesday, March 1st. Joya told Breitbart News after her affair with Taylor began in October 2020, they became intimate on November 2020. He considered me his girlfriend. No, sweetheart. That would make you his mistress. Okay? You're not a girlfriend. You're his mistress. There's a difference. You're a slut, Joya. That's what you are. So, yeah, you like that, you dirty whore. Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. Tanya told Breitbart News. Now, look how she frames this. Don't forget, she took the money and she fucked them. Okay? Okay? For a long time. A long time, guys. All right, listen. Doing Ben Shapiro style here. She took the money and she fucked them. It's clear. Hypothetically speaking, if you do that, you're a prostitute. There's no ifs, ands, or buts about that. So, earlier the month, every day in October 2020, he wouldn't stop messaging me like crazy. It was just so distracting. He was going crazy for it. He said he wanted me to be his loyal, faithful, permanent mistress, she claimed. So, again, she caveats on this and says, girlfriend. No, in fact, that is a mistress. Hypothetically speaking. Man crate. Is that Ben Shapiro? I don't know if I'm doing that one good. I'm trying. That was like one of my like real first serious cracks at it. Hey there, gang. Ben Shapiro here. I actually do like Ben Shapiro. I do. Let's continue. He said he wanted me to be his loyal, faithful, permanent mistress, she claimed. The last time Joya saw Taylor, Joya says she believed she was threatened. She told Breitbart News that Taylor told her, oh, you're never going to have a career as a therapist because no one will trust you. This is what Van Taylor. In a text message to Joya that was received by Breitbart News, Taylor expressed he wanted a long, slow rim job while he had a drink. He then requested her to deep throat him while you stroke my cock and I come on your tonsils. Wait, how do you deep throat somebody while you stroke their cock? Weird mental image, but okay, we'll go with it. The text message was first published late Sunday by National File and is reproduced here. You can see old Vanny boy here. Old Vanny boy. Now look, I'm going to show you a picture of this woman, okay? I'm going to show you a picture of this woman. And you're going to understand everything. Okay? Take a good look at what Congressman Van Taylor looks like. Okay? You see this guy? He's not exactly fucking, who's somebody hot? I don't fucking know. Zac Efron. Who the girl's going crazy for these days? I have no idea. This guy isn't exactly fucking dropping panties out there. Brad Pitt. Even Brad Pitt in his 60s, he's still a hot motherfucker. Good for you, bro. Good for you. George Clooney, too. Attaboy. He's not exactly fucking just, dropping panties left and right everywhere he goes. Just like there's no wake of bras and shit like everywhere. No, this guy is not. He's not Don Juan. I'm Don Juan looking motherfucker. This guy's not. So, with that being said, you ready to see what she looks like? This is her. Smoke show. So you're telling me, you're telling me a woman that looks like that could have her pick of any dude out there. Let's be real. Okay? You picked him to fuck? Come on. Remember that scene in Family Guy where Peter Griffin goes before Congress? Like, no, I can appeal to him. Hold on. Congress. Come on. What is this? Don't sit there and pretend like you didn't know what you were doing. Like you didn't know how good looking you are. Here's the thing. Attractive women, they know they're hot. They're not stupid. They're not. I know I'm a good looking guy. Well, John, that sounds arrogant. No, I've been told that numerous times. So therefore, I'm led to believe it. Not including when my mother told me that. They have to tell you that. Attractive people know they're attractive. To deny that is deny that you have eyes, that you're not stupid. So don't sit there and tell me she doesn't know how hot she is, that she could bag any dude. She could bag any dude she wants. And you went after this guy, knowing full well he's married with 3 kids. You didn't have issue with that, right? Okay. All right. Interesting. Joya was born in London and is a UK citizen. In 2003, at 19 years old, she met John Thomas Georgelis, an American-born convert to Islam, jihadist, and supporter of the Islamic State. In September of 2013, she moved to Syria and hated living there for how they treated women, she told Breitbart News. They will kill you or enslave you, she said of ISIS. They, Muslim fundamentalists, have medieval ideas, she added. Joya later informed American authorities on Georgelis and afterwards worked on counterterrorism for 3 years. So we could drone him, she said. Joya finally fled to America 8 years ago. Joya's story comes as Taylor is seeking re-election in the 3rd District of Texas. Taylor faces a 5-way primary in which he must win at least 50% of the vote. So what I'm getting here is you dated this guy, or you fucked this guy for. Let me do the math here real quick, folks. 1 second. You did him for 12 months divided by 5. So essentially, hold on, no, that's not accurate. Here we go. Oh my God. Oh my God. So essentially, you were. I'm trying to make sure I do the math. You were fucking this guy for roughly $400 a month, is what you're saying. Yeah, $450. Yeah, a little bit. That's a little high. This guy was paying you $420 a month to fuck you. To get a rim job and then come on your tonsils? I mean, that's not bad. That's not a bad deal. I mean, hey, he's a businessman. I'm horrible today. I know I'm bad today. You don't have to remind me. I know. Oh my God. LMAO, America treats women worse. The only time women get stoned in America is by choice. I sincerely hope you're joking about that, but whatever. I mean, it's true. I mean, you do get stoned by choice. But I'm in awe of this. I'm really in awe of this. So that was the article that I woke up to this morning. It's like, you've got to be shitting me. You've got to be shitting me. And here's the other thing. Why do you think Breitbart reported this story? Why do you think Breitbart? Why do you think they reported this, guys? Sincerely. He voted in favor of Nancy Pelosi's January 6th committee. Therefore, he turned on him. Breitbart saw an opportunity, and they took it. It's not that I'm saying I agree or disagree with them, but it's just like both sides do this. Both sides do this. This is clearly a political hit piece, guys. But hey, whatever. I mean, I get it. I get it. I understand. All right. All right, let's move on. All right, updates. We're going to go over more Ukrainian updates tonight on the Twitch channel. But essentially right now it says some Russian troops are surrendering rather than fighting, Pentagon says. Now here's the problem. I don't know what to believe anymore. I don't know if this is true, and I don't know if it's a lie. I have seen reports where that one Russian platoon apparently surrendered, saying they didn't even know they were coming to fight Ukraine. They thought they were on a field training exercise. But then I've read, how I've informed all of you, that Snake Island, where the 13 Ukrainian people were murdered or killed by the Russian warship, that was a lie. They were actually taken prisoner. They were treated very fairly. There's video of it to prove it. They're coming off the damn ship being handed bottles of water. Okay? The media is lying, and we don't know what the truth is. So when I read articles like this, I don't know what to believe. Nobody knows what to believe. We are living in a massive misinformation war, and no one knows where to get the truth from. So it's very hard to come to a final conclusion of opinion when you're being fed facts that you don't even know if they're really facts. This is what the media has created with their political biases. This is what CNN has done when they just went after Trump mercilessly for 4 years, even when it wasn't fucking called for. This is what you created. Well done. Washington, plagued by poor morale, as well as fuel and food shortages, some Russian troops in Ukraine have surrendered en masse or sabotaged their own vehicles to avoid fighting, a senior Pentagon official said on Tuesday. Some entire Russian units have laid down their arms without a fight after confronting surprisingly stiff Ukrainian defenses, the official said. A significant number of the Russian troops, young conscripts who are poorly trained and ill-prepared for the all-out assault. And in some cases, Russian troops have deliberately punched holes in their vehicles' gas tanks, presumably to avoid combat, the official said. The Pentagon official declined to say how the military made these assessments. Well, that's weird. Presumably a mosaic of intelligence and including statements from captured Russian soldiers and communications intercepts, or how widespread these setbacks may be across the sprawling battle. Now, I hope this is true. I actually do hope this is true. I just don't know if it is. So it's like, why are we going to get our hopes up in something that we don't know if it's true or not? But taken together, these factors may help explain why Russian forces, including an omnibus 40-mile convoy of tanks and armored vehicles near Kyiv, Ukraine's capital, has come to a near crawl in the past day or two, U.S. official says. Guys, you're seeing some of the parts of logistics, the logistical nightmare that is war. This is it right there. Weather becomes a massive factor. I don't know if he's rolling these tanks over mud. I have no idea. You got to remember, a lot of these roads are very poorly built. You have tons and tons of steel with track on it are going to tear up those roads. This is the thing that I love about military history is you talk about how when anybody wants to invade Russia in the winter, good luck. Good luck. You're going to lose. These small little what seems like insignificant details can change the course of a war in a split second. And that's why your combat veterans are so crucial in times like this, because you could sit there. You could sit there and actually see this. That's what's crazy about it. Please don't spam chat. Don't spam caps in my fucking chat. That's your last warning. Do not spam chat. Do not spam caps in my Twitch chat. Mods, if they do it again, ban them. You're not going to get daddy's attention doing that. You're only going to annoy the fuck out of me. Shit's annoying. It's like a little fucking 3-year-old screaming for attention. Me. Mods, anybody else uses caps in that chat, get rid of them. You're normal, just like the rest of us. And I implore you, use proper punctuation, please. No, I'm playing. I don't give a fuck what you do. Do not use don't use all caps in my chat. So, you know the facts when you know the facts when you see real videos made by civilians. There's a site who posts it. Really? Go do Snake Island again, genius. Do you not fucking listen to what I'm telling you? You fucking retard. Are you serious? Are you fucking serious? We literally just explained it to you, fucking mental troglodytes. Some of these videos are fake. They're fucking fake. or they're manipulated. How do you? It's stupid people like you. It's stupid people like you that still don't fucking get it. And Daddy Savage is sitting here just breaking it down, mushing it up in the mortar, and spoon-feeding it to you like the fucking morons you are. I am babying you and trying to educate you and say, hey, there's a lot of misinformation out there because I've been sitting here watching it for day after day after day and saying I fell for a lot of it because it looks so fucking real. And I'm just here not trying to deny facts. That's not my goal. It's not that, I promise you. It's to find the facts. So if they are painting this as if by and large a lot of Russian forces are surrendering, I don't know if I believe that or not. I don't know. Is that so hard to understand? Am I like speaking Greek over here? I'm looking off to my right as if somebody's over there, and there's nobody over there. I don't know why I did that. But anyway. But taken together, these factors may help explain why Russian forces, including an omnibus 40-mile besides dealing with shortages of fuel, food, and spare parts, the Pentagon official said Russian commanders leading that armored column toward Kiev may also be regrouping and rethinking their battle plans, making adjustments on the fly to gain momentum for what the U.S. intelligence and military officials say is an inevitable push in the next several days to encircle and ultimately capture the capital. People just don't listen. You don't fucking listen. You sit there with your ignorance and you're just like, oh, no, the rest of them are fake, but no, this one is real. This one is real. Look, there's videos of it. Article coming from Fox says, Biden says Russia targeting civilian areas, U.S. doing everything we can do to help Zelensky. It's true. We've actually seen this repeatedly. We saw this live repeatedly. Russia-Ukraine war. United Nations approves resolution condemning Putin, Russia. Live updates. You want to talk about the dumbest shit imaginable. Hey, guys. You know what we do? We had our little UN meeting here the other day, and Putin, we all came together, and we passed a resolution finally, and the resolution reads as follows. Mr. Putin, we strongly condemn what you're doing. Signed, all of the United Nations. Now, how does that make you feel? You scared? You should be. We've passed a resolution to condemn you. I'll tell you what you can do with the resolution. Involves rim job, slow drink, and me coming on your tonsils. Oh, my God. All right, guys, that does it for today's podcast show. I appreciate your love and support. I had to end it with that. I figured y'all like that. But I appreciate your love and support. Thank you for subscribing to the All American Savage Show podcast right here on Twitch at The John Burke. If you want to join us, download the Twitch app. It's free. It doesn't cost you a dime. You can come follow me at The John Burke. You can also find this podcast episode, which will be uploaded shortly to iTunes, Spotify, SoundCloud. It's also available on my YouTube channel. You can actually watch the vodcast there. We appreciate your love and support. I love my lost savages. I appreciate every single one of you, even the stupid one of you in there that daddy's got to smack you from time to time because you don't fucking know what you're talking about. I appreciate you being here. If you haven't done so, make sure you check out the Telegram chat. That's where we're updating a lot of stuff right there. People are coming together, having great discussions. I will be live tonight on Twitch. We'll be covering more Ukrainian stuff tonight to see what's actually going on, probably around 7 p.m. CST. I'll be going live right here on Twitch again. Also, make sure you check out shellshockcbd.com. Hey, if you want to support the stream, you want to support the show, and you're over here on Twitch, drop a subscription below. We absolutely love you. We appreciate you. I can't thank you enough for all the love and support you guys have shown us here at Shell Shock CBD for the longest time. I cannot reiterate or drive that point home far enough. Sincerely, from the bottom of mine and Josh's and all the employees here at Shell Shock, we want to thank you for all your financial love and support. We give this information away for free, but if you want to subscribe, it really, really helps out a lot. I love you guys. I appreciate you. And as always,